I have something really important to share with you all, especially people who are still trapped in this big lie that is the law of attraction. And in my opinion, anything that has to do with yoga, with crystals, I know that there are a lot of Christians out there that maybe still have some feel some fascination for some of these things, and I respect that, in the sense that I have been there, so I'm not judging. This is just a conversation based on my experience and my research on the topic. So, as you probably noticed, I'm not native English speaker. This is my second language. I will talk about my origins in another video, maybe later on, because this is not the focus of the channel. But definitely, I'm not from any of the Anglophone and English speaking countries. So when I moved to the country I'm now, in Ireland, um, I I had a phase. I went through a phase of my life of exploring, and this was very interesting because exploring, trying new things, meeting new people is always very exciting, but at the same time can expose you. So I am not saying this to justify my actions or what I did, but it's just the reality of the fact that I was exposed to new, to novelty, and this is not always good. The Bible says that, for example, curiosity is not good. Curiosity can lead to temptation, or can cause temptation, and then temptation will lead us to sin. So I'm not a scholar, I'm not a theologian, but curiosity is not good. It's not always good, because can bring us to make the wrong choices. So at the time, I just got to my first job in Ireland. I was really excited about my new social life, my new job in tech, and everything felt really new and really exciting for me. So I was just like a butterfly flying from flower to flower, exploring and trying new things, meeting new friends. And I was also coming from an experience of long term unemployment after my study. So for me, this was all very new and tempting. But back to the reason of the video, I fell into this trap, or this really charming um, new age realm that involve law of attraction, the book called Secret, and all the other elements like crystals, meditation, visualization, and so on and so forth. A lot of actors talk about it, like Jim Carrey, but also I think Conor McGregor. Anyway, it's not important, Conor McGregor, in this conversation, but it's just to tell you that even famous and Hollywood actors stress a lot about this, and talk about a lot about the law of attraction and this big secret, which potentially, in uh, for who believe it will help you to attract and manifest anything you want in life. Now, this is amazing on paper, and if would be true, if would be not true, because is it true partially, but if would be genuine and authentic from God, of course everyone would be rich at this point, right? So let's imagine that you set an objective to become a billionaire, and you focus your attention on it. You visualize in your mind, so imagine yourself and picture yourself becoming a millionaire, having a Ferrari, um, meeting a new hot girlfriend, and having your dream house. And one day, if you visualize all these things, this will happen in theory, but in practice, this doesn't happen, or it happens for few. The point that I'm trying to make is that, based on all this concept, I began visualizing and try to manifest my dreams. In that case was my job, and but also small things, small objects. They recommend, you know, the guru or the writers that believe in the law of attraction, they recommend to start small and then dream big. So start with, try to manifest some small thing. So at the time, I also was traveling a lot and I was traveling to Portugal. So I started I tried to manifest small things, and one day I actually did it. So I manifested something. It was a small object. I really love foxes, so I said, okay, let's try to manifest a fox in my new apartment in Lisbon. um, so I did this for like 3 4 days before my travels, and I imagined this fox like a small toy, you know, like really fluffy, and I think between brown and orange, you know, auburn. um, and then I completely forgot about it when I went in this Airbnb. I in this bed and breakfast, I basically, when I enter, there was at the door at the entrance this little fox. So I start thinking that this was very very strange. So why won't try with something big? So at the time, I was really focusing on meeting new people, having new friends. So I said, why not try to manifest um, like a friend, like a new friend of mine. So I did it. In my mind, I tried to manifest this person. So I won't share the details because I don't want to expose or reveal who this person is in my circle. But I can tell you that at that point, I really gotten really good at visualizing details in my mind. So basically, the secret is to have like a clear picture in your head and in your mind while you're meditating, and with the time and with practice you will become good. So you will really see someone in your mind, and but you really have to also feel, according to this law, you have to feel like if you already have achieved and you met, in this case, the person. So I was really becoming good at this practice, and after months I was visualizing this friend. She was really friendly, charming, also, like, you know, someone that would like partying, but at the same time with good values, you know, like the same value that I was sharing. Someone I could get along, and I could also build a solid friendship. Now, after some time, I completely forgot about this. And one day I was walking down the street in the building block I was living, and I saw this person. I met this friend, this girl, that I can't remember now if she was from. I think she was from Germany, probably. That's not important. But what is important is the level of details that completely resonated with, you know, it was exactly like I imagined. Even I remember in my imagination, in my visualization, she was wearing a specific black jacket and she has very curly hair, and this girl was matching completely the description. At some point, when she mentioned something that reminded me about my visualization, and I said, okay, this is creepy. Now, back to the video, and the reason why I'm telling you all of this, which might seem boring, is that after a while, our friendship, our relationship seems really great. But at some point, I realized that all this law of attraction was really toxic and basically manipulation of reality, because the friendship with this girl started completely to become negative. It really started to affect my my personal life. She would be manipulative, or she would just call me when she needed, or she asked me, you know, asking for a favor, and basically from starting from like an excellent and very, you know, like a great start it reveals itself. So what I'm getting with this is that the law of attraction and everything that is part of the new age, so even meditating, or listening to these binaural beats, uh, is they're all tools, and they're all um, instruments of the enemy to pull you away from the real source of goodness, which is God and Jesus. So what I experienced, and this is just a very brief tale, it's not the whole story because it will take me hours. um, it just is just a message for you to be careful. Be careful, because you are completely free to sin or to make mistakes. Of course, God uh, uh, tell us that we are free. We are free to make a mistake and to go back to Him. But this doesn't excuse that we should do it, and it also affects our spiritual life. So for a long time, Mm, I thought I was happy, but it was just a superficial materialistic happiness. Instead, only when I went back to God and to my practice of the faith and prayer, the Mass, but especially personal prayer and community prayer, that I really felt fulfilled and at peace. So the time I was doing all this um, practice of, visualization, and also other practice that would involve, for example, astrology, so consulting the horoscope, but also tarot reading. I never did it myself, but I was the person that would go to a reader a few times. All of this was really pulling me back away from God, and I really felt that. But I felt that just when the shiny cover of all this manifestation reveal itself. So when the mask was dropped and I start seeing the effect on my spirit and on my practical life, so uh, you just feel and realize that all of this law of attraction is just a lie. Unfortunately, I don't want to mention who, but a lot of, Hollywood is a good promoter of not just the enemy, but the not just the Satan, but also um, all this new age campaign. Let's call it that way. Why? Because Satan used the new age and the shiny cover of all of this that I mentioned has to mask his real intention. So the intention is not his intention are not to give in your house and a future. That's God's intention. God is your rock. So please don't forget that. I hope that this testimony, which it was brief because I don't want to go into details and expose anyone's life. I don't want to. I don't like that. But I hope that this video help you to reflect and just move you, or let me know if it resonated with you. Let me know if you ever had an experience of with the law of attraction, if you manifested anything, how what happened after, and if it was good for your life, if it was a good addition, or if it just ended up, like in my case, to be a completely failure. I want to close this video saying that this person was not necessarily bad, but it was negative for me, and it was used because Satan can use people like God use people as well, using, of course, in the bracket, for a good purpose, and it can use people to to attack you. So the person itself, this girl, maybe was not a bad person. She was maybe struggling herself with her own life. But again, please try to, when you are in doubt and when you feel like, when you're not sure, check the Bible. So check the Bible, read the Bible. There is everything there about, all this practice that today are, even yoga. I know a lot of Christians like to do yoga. but I would suggest to research and give a look at it, because it's a spiritual practice of Hinduism. So is basically invoking demons. So please check. But again, this is non-judgmental. I just wanted to share my story. Let me know in the comment what you think, and let's keep the conversation going on this topic. Now, I'll see you to the next video, and stay blessed.